Today you'll need a strap or a belt with something that has a loop or that you can tie. Starting at the back of the mat, do a few shoulder rolls. From here, we'll lift our chin, drop our chin to our chest, and slowly roll all the way down. A couple half lifts here, lifting up halfway and lowering down. Inhale as you rise, exhale as you lower. Now from here, you'll bend the knees, slowly roll up one vertebra at a time. Let's twist the torso here, allowing the arms to follow. This should feel easy and good. The hips are kind of following. And now we'll slowly come back to center, just the arms. Allow them to slowly stop. And now for some arm circles. We're going to start at the bottom, reach our arms up and back. If you want, you'll add a heel raise. So feet come down, and as you raise, your heels will come up as well. Slowly returning to the start position and up. Repeat. Circling fully, coming up and lowering. Just a couple more here. Last one. We're going to lower down the heels, but keep the hands up, interlace the fingers, and press the palms toward the ceiling. Reach your wrists up to the ceiling so your arms are very straight. And now we'll go to the side, center, other side, and back to center. Now from here, you're going to inhale, lift your chest, try to allow your arms to go back, keeping the abdominals in. Do that one more breath. And release the hands, rounding your elbows together and apart. One more time. And release. Grabbing our band. Now for some arm circles with the band. Reaching the arms out to the sides and coming all the way back and up. These are also known as up and overs sometimes because your arms go up and then they go over the back. The width of your hands depends on your mobility. So as you warm up, you might find that you can bring your hands closer in together to challenge that. Arms are straight the whole time. Notice if anything starts to bend at a certain point. Now let's add an angle coming to the side, across, and the other angle. All the while, our abdominals are knit. We're not allowing the torso to move a whole lot. Just a few more here. Last one. And release. Now let's come down onto the mat, bringing your belt with you. We're going to create a loop. So taking one end or getting ready to tie a knot, we're making it the width of our forearms, which I'll demonstrate in a moment. You want the forearms to be in line with the shoulders. This will help for the next exercise that we do. Keep checking and adjusting as you need to. Now we'll make our way down onto the mat and onto the forearms. Elbows should be in line with wrists and elbows should be right underneath the shoulders. What we don't want is the elbows to go out and the wrists to come in. That is effectively stopping you from actually having alignment in this position. Take a second here and just allow yourself to straighten the arms in a child's pose. Noting the difference, having this support, keeping your arms in line. Now let's come forward and try out a dolphin's pose. So you're going to just lift the hips. This is quite an intense pose, so at any time, if you need to come into a plank or back into that child's pose, please do so. Otherwise, you'll try to hold this dolphin's pose. You'll notice quite an opening in the armpit and chest area. This is a very challenging pose. You can follow my flow, but you can also follow your own. I will be coming out and going back into it periodically. Adjust the straps as you need to. You might notice that your elbows have still found a way to sneak out. Here I'm adding a bit of movement forward and back on my toes. As you feel ready, you'll allow your knees to lower. Now bringing your arms up overhead, keeping your ribs knit as you pulse the hands back. Come on down, back on the forearms. We'll just do a few forearm plank to dolphins. Reaching your hips up and coming back down, up and down. Feel free to just hold dolphin if you like. And we'll come back up to seated on our heels, and we'll reach our arms up overhead, repeating our straight arm pulses. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, hold back and slowly release. Now we'll go into a melting heart or puppy pose. Your arms are straight, your hips are up. If you want, you'll reach all the way forward, allowing the heart to fully touch the ground. You should be able to deeply breathe in whatever position you're choosing to be in. Just a couple more deep breaths here. Now slowly come forward here into a quick Sphinx pose and release the band from your forearms and take a rest. Let's come up and find an easy seat. Maybe that's cross-legged or sitting on your heels. From here, we're going to do some gentle self-massage. Rolling the shoulders back to get us set up. We're going to take one hand and massage the space underneath the armpit. You're going to use your thumb as kind of like a hook, where you're going to separate the muscles away from the structure, meaning your bones. This will be rather intense, but I want you to just sort of feel it out. We're not doing it very long. This is sort of an experiment. Releasing that, I want you to just notice the difference from one side to the other. And let's repeat on the opposite side. This does take a bit of maneuvering, but you're going to hook that thumb again in between the muscle and the bone. And I kind of grab it and shake it a little bit, moving it away. And then trail your thumb up toward the armpit and do it again. And back down. Just moving around. And release. Let's drop an ear to one shoulder and then the other side. Going side to side for a couple more. Let's stay on the next side, hold here. Adding gentle movement of the head. Here we are doing, with our ear to our shoulder, a gentle nodding motion and taking pauses where you need to deepen the breath and increase the stretch. Now, a shaking the head no, bringing the nose toward the shoulder and back to that diagonal position. Adding any movements that feel natural to you. Maybe placing a hand on the side of the head if that feels good. Otherwise, with your ear to your shoulder, you can add a bit of shoulder rolling back. This can sometimes actively lengthen the muscles alongside the neck. Let's transition to the other side, allowing the chin to drop to the chest and very slowly rounding over to the other side, where opposite ear will meet the same shoulder, and then adding that gentle nodding of the head. Maybe you're starting with the yes nod or the no nod. Changing it when you feel ready to do so. If you haven't already changed from one of the nods, please do so. trying to find your natural needs and meeting them. Let's bring our head back to a starting position, and again, maybe placing the hand on the head or adding that gentle shoulder roll of the opposite shoulder to increase the lengthening in the muscles on the side of the neck. If it feels good to you, slowly allow your chin to rise. This is a stretch that feels phenomenal to my body, but it may not feel very safe or good to you. So I'd encourage you to find a different stretch of the neck during this time. Here, I'm just lifting with my chin up to the ceiling and gently adding an angle, allowing one side of the jaw to lift and then the other. Make sure you're able to breathe and that you're not feeling any pinching in the back of the neck. Let's slowly come back to center and we'll do some head circles, dropping ear to shoulder, rounding chin to chest, slowly taking your time to bring the opposite ear to opposite shoulder, and optionally lifting the chin. Keep going in that same direction, circling at your own pace. You might notice that when your chin's forward, you want to spend a longer time, or vice versa. Allow yourself the space to intuitively move. Let's do one more full circle in this direction. Reversing, and now going the opposite direction with that same intuitive flow. Slowing down where you need to, or maybe even pausing if you need a second to breathe. Finish out one more final circle, taking all the time you need. As your chin finds your chest, gently sway the head no, or think of drawing a smiley on your chest. As you do this, notice the spots that are asking for more attention. And then I'd like you to find a spot, hang out there, optionally taking your hand to the base of the head and allowing a little bit of traction here. Not too much, not to the point of pain. Now adding a bit of self-massage at the base of the head where the neck meets. And when you're ready, changing positions, maybe allowing the chin to drop to the chest and taking two hands at the base of the skull. And eventually making your way to another spot that needs your attention. And again, adding the head for some traction, and optionally massaging the base of the spine where the head meets. If you're ready, you'll slowly come back to center, give your shoulders a circle, and settle. Thank you so much for joining me today.